This movie tells the story of Ben Stone and Allison Scott, two people who have almost nothing in common, sleep together once, and then spend the next 9 months trying to figure out what to do about the baby and about each other. Ben is a 23-year-old Canadian living in a Los Angeles house with 4 unemployed roommates, nominally working on a website that catalogs exactly how far into any given movie a celebrity appears naked. Allison is a production assistant at E! Entertainment who has just been told she is going on camera. They meet at a bar on the best night of her life and manage to get each other's name right, which is about as far as things go smoothly from there. The film opens in the house Ben shares with Jason, Jonah, Jay, and Martin. Their days run on marijuana, mutual insults, and a shared commitment to the website that has not yet been built but is theoretically going to make them all rich. Martin has accepted a year-long bet requiring him not to cut his hair or shave. In exchange, everyone else pays his rent, but if he breaks and shaves, he pays all 5 rents. The insults about the resulting beard are relentless and fond. Ben and his roommates spend the morning watching celebrity footage to log timestamps and arguing about whether Charles Manson or Jamie Lee Curtis is the better test case. Meanwhile, across town, Debbie fighting with her husband Pete over a gym appointment he claims to have written on the calendar. He did not write it on the calendar. Nobody agrees on what was said about the calendar. At the E! offices, Allison is called into a meeting by her boss, Jack. New York has decided they want to put her on camera. She is overjoyed. Then Jack explains, through a series of increasingly tortured corporate euphemisms, that she will also want to access the gym membership, think about toning. Possibly subtract 20 pounds from her current weight and then weigh that much. Just remember, everything's going to be right there on the screen. Allison says, yay. That night, she and Debbie go out to celebrate. The bar is full of people a decade younger than them. Debbie asks whether she is too old to be there. They get let in immediately. Inside, Allison cannot get the bartender's attention. A man named Ben slips the bartender cash and gets 2 beers. He hands her one. She introduces herself. He gives his name. She thanks him and says, "Have a great night." He watches her walk away and tells his friend he locked up completely and will probably just jerk later. His friend says she gave him a clear opening and demands to know what they are doing standing here. Ben and his roommates end up at the same table. They talk about Munich, about the shoe bomber, about Jonah's beard making him look like he joined the Taliban. At some point during the evening, Ben and Allison leave together and go back to his house. In the morning, both of them are naked. She asks if they had sex. He confirms it. She has to get to work. He offers breakfast. At the diner, he describes his website in enthusiastic detail and offers to show her Meg Ryan's full frontal footage from In the Cut as a demonstration. She gives him her card because he does not currently have a working phone number due to payment complications. He can be reached by email. She gets in a cab. He watches the cab leave. His roommate says that was brutal. He says yes, it was. He recalls nothing about her promotion or the conversation about it. He was very drunk. 8 weeks later, Allison is interviewing James Franco on set when she is sick on the audio equipment. Someone on set suggests she might be pregnant. She points out you have to have sex to get pregnant. And then she stops. She and Debbie buy every pregnancy test at the pharmacy. They take them all. Everything is positive. Allison pulls up the video Ben sent her phone weeks earlier. He had somehow obtained her number, and the video is just Ben looking into the camera saying, "Hi, I live in your phone." She calls the number. They agree to meet at a coffee shop. The coffee shop conversation is deeply uncomfortable. Ben arrives late. Allison tells him she is pregnant. There is a long silence, then some negotiation about whose fault it was, then a mutual agreement that they are going to keep the baby. Ben calls his father, who has been divorced 3 times, and delivers enthusiastic advice that amounts to very little. Ben and Allison begin dating out of a shared sense that they should at least try. The dates are genuinely pleasant in patches and deeply awkward in others. He moves out of the house and gets his own apartment. His roommates, who had built their schedule around his presence, stand at the window watching the moving truck leave like children whose dog has been given to a farm. Allison's boss calls her into his office around month 4. She walks in, convinced she is about to be fired. Instead, the network has done research. People like pregnant. The bigger she gets, the bigger her numbers. They are launching Mommy, a whole maternity month, interviewing all the pregnant celebrities. You are pregnant. They are pregnant. You can talk about being pregnant. As she leaves, her boss adds that after the baby is out, she should tighten it back up. Meanwhile, Ben and his roommates are going to Las Vegas for a weekend. Ben tells Allison he is going to a fantasy baseball draft. She finds out. He also turns up to an obstetrician appointment, smelling of marijuana. with a scheme to drive to Montreal for a Cirque du Soleil show after a fertility specialist canceled. She throws him out. Ben has been spending several months occasionally escaping with Pete, Debbie's husband, to a hotel downtown where there are poker games, fantasy sports drafts, and other husbands also hiding from their lives. They tell their wives different things each time. Debbie tracks Pete's phone and discovers the truth. The poker hotel, the movie screenings, the long lunches, the confrontation between them is not small. Pete tells her he is not having an affair, has never cheated, loves her and loves the kids. He is also sometimes so completely overwhelmed by being needed at every moment, by the children, by her, by the house, by every small decision, that he cannot breathe inside his own home, and he has not known how else to manage that. Debbie is furious, then devastated, then, after some time, quietly acknowledging that she has not made space for him to say any of this. The marriage does not immediately fix, but something real is said. Allison watches this and realizes she has been measuring her relationship with Ben against what she sees in her sister's marriage, a kind of low-grade exhaustion disguised as normalcy, and pulling away from him partly out of fear that she can already see the ending. She is not sure that is fair to either of them. Ben, alone in his apartment, reads the baby books. All of them. He quits smoking marijuana mostly. He reads What to Expect, the Mayo Clinic Guide, T. Barry Brazelton, and a book about how to talk to kids so they will actually listen. He starts going to the doctor's appointments without being asked. He shows up at Allison's door and tells her he is sorry about all of it. She lets him back in. Their obstetrician, Dr. Howard, is reassuringly warm and specific and tells Ben on their first meeting that he is going to be in the room and he will be there for the birth. When Allison's contractions start 8 months in, she calls Dr. Howard's emergency line and is told he is at a bar mitzvah in San Francisco and will not be back for 3 days. Allison calls Ben. He is calm and immediately says he needs to stop for gas. She is not calm. He arrives, drives her to the hospital, and calls every gynecologist they have ever interacted with on the way. Dr. Cooney, who notes that he does not have any Jewish friends and is therefore available, agrees to come in. Ben's roommates fill the waiting room. Debbie and Pete arrive together. In the delivery room, Dr. Cooney and Ben begin on poor terms. The doctor is efficient and direct. Ben tries to assert Allison's birth plan. The doctor invites Ben to go home and be the doctor himself. Ben takes the doctor into the hallway and makes one request. Be as much of a dick to me as you want, just be nice to her. The doctor comes back into the room and apologizes. The cord is wrapped around the baby's neck and things need to move quickly. Allison has changed her mind about the epidural. It is too late for the epidural. Her cervix is fully dilated. Jonah goes in to check on things and comes back out looking like he has seen something he will never unsee. Ben goes in. Allison pushes. The baby arrives. It is a girl. Ben tells Allison he loves her. She tells him she loves him. Outside in the waiting room, Martin announces that now is the time. He says Jason is the master. Martin shaves. In the closing scene, Ben sits with his daughter in the hospital room while Allison sleeps. He tells the baby about the circumstances of her existence, that her mother said just do it already, which Daddy interpreted somewhat literally. He tells her not to tell Mommy, but that it was the smartest thing he ever did, listening to her because now she is here. He thinks that is nice. They move into a new apartment in East LA. It is enormous because of the rent, he explains to Allison, and the only decision they need to make is whether they are going to join the Crips or the Bloods, given the neighborhood. Allison says she looks good in red. He says he looks good in blue. He concedes they both look good in gold and suggests they become Latin kings and throw everyone off. On the drive home from the hospital, he refuses to go faster than 12 miles per hour. He will not be moved on this. The drivers behind them can honk all they want. He is not going faster than 12. And that is how the story ends. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe to the channel and drop a like and a comment to keep me going. Thanks.